August, stage 8, and the courage to take form. August is the 8th month of the year, and in the MARI Mandala system, we're in stage 8. Stage 8 is part of the third quadrant of the Great Round, the quadrant of manifesting. And before arriving here, something that began as a seed, an impulse, image, a longing, or an inner movement is now asking to become visible. This is a place where identity begins to take form in the world. Hi, I'm Mari Grande, art and trauma therapist, intuitive coach, and author. Stage 8 is connected to autonomy, achievement, individuality, and the capacity to stand in one's own life. There can be a feeling of competence here, a sense of being mobilized, focused, and ready to make choices that are aligned with who we are becoming. Such a great time. This stage, it as powerful as it is, it carries the energy of the functioning ego, the part of the self that can choose, direct, organize, and act. It's a part of us that says, here I am, not as performance, not as demand for attention, but rather as a grounded recognition of presence. I'm here. I have something to offer. I'm allowed to take up space in my own life. I often think of this stage when I witness someone who is beginning to trust their own authority. It may be a client, a colleague, a friend, or even someone or a moment I recognize in myself. There's often a quiet shift before anything dramatic happens on the outside. A person stops waiting for permission. They begin to listen differently. They make a clear decision. They say yes to what feels true and no to what's been draining their life force. Oh, such an important time. And it's not always loud. Sometimes identity arrives as a whisper with a backbone. That is the beauty of stage 8. It's not about becoming harder, it's about becoming more formed. At the transpersonal level, individual goals begin to find their relationship to something larger. Personal destiny is not separate from community, organization, service, or the collective field. As the individual self becomes more defined, it may also become more available. This is where mastery can become generous. Stage 8 is connected to leadership, specialization, development, and the deepening of one's gifts. When this energy is balanced, it can feel powerful, inspired, and directed. We begin to understand that our contribution comes through the truth of who we are, not through an imitation or self-abandonment. And every stage has its shadow. Oh boy. And this stage 8's shadow is a doozy. Focus can become overwork. Autonomy can become control. Individuality can become isolation. The desire to achieve can become a demand to produce. The need to stand firmly can become rigidity. Oh boy, this is a tough one. The shadow of 8 can sound like, I have to do everything myself. I cannot let anyone see my vulnerability. If I rest, I'll fall behind. My worth depends on what I accomplish. And when this happens, and it often does, the power of stage 8 becomes strained. The energy that could support expression and mastery may turn into pressure, performance, or exhaustion. So the invitation is not only to achieve, is to embody, is to stand tall without becoming brittle. Maybe stand under a tree and claim the power without needing to control. I say stand under a tree because a tree it's strong, Just by being itself, it emanates power. It has nothing to prove, it just is. And this is a time to not only claim power without control, is to develop mastery without losing tenderness. In mandala imagery, stage 8 is often associated with floral designs, stars, pentagons, and images that suggest movement and direction. As you can see in this stage 8 mandala here. So there can be a sense of self in motion, much like a 5-pointed star with feet planted on the earth and the energy extending outward. And the number 5 here is the functioning ego. It gives a feeling of self that can act, move, choose, respond, and participate in life. In numerology, the number 8 is associated with power, mastery, ambition, success, influence, and the ability to manifest. Turned sideways, the 8 becomes infinity on its side. The symbol reminding us that power is not only about force or achievement. True power circulates. It moves through cycles. It requires balance. The month of August, the 8th month, and the numerology of 8, and the MARI stage 8 align in a meaningful way. All speak to strength, manifestation, mastery, and capacity. And both numerology and stage 8 of the MARI point to similar shadow places: control, overwork, fear of vulnerability, and the temptation to confuse outer success with inner work. And August offers us a potent invitation. Where are you ready to take form? Where are you ready to trust your own authority? Where are you overworking instead of allowing your energy to gather? What would mastery look like if it included rest, generosity, and soul? Stage 8 does not ask us to become louder. It asks us to become more fully ourselves, to plant our feet, gather our energy, and to honor what has been developing within us. And to remember, our deepest contribution comes from the place where power and tenderness meet. Kind of the yin and yang. Thank you for listening to me. Stage 8 is a powerful one, and I hope this wonderful August. Bye for now.